Good morning, welcome back. I am so excited for this. There are two more candies that I have been wanting to make that I haven't made yet. So I'm going to make them up this morning. I am going to make some turtles and some, what is this, like churro brittle. They called it Disney brittle. I'm not really a Disney person, so I'm not quite sure, but it looks delicious. I'm going to start off by taking some pecan halves and putting them on a parchment lined cookie sheet. And just in little groups. The recipe said that I need about 40 little groups. Don't touch that. The recipe said that I need about 40 little groups. So that is how we're starting out. And then we are going to make a caramel sauce to go over these nuts. And then we'll let them cool off and then get them covered in chocolate. So that'll be hopefully pretty easy to do. The last time I did candy, it was a little bit complicated because it was the first time doing like filling a mold. So if you haven't seen that video, go check it out. That was a doozy. Also, welcome back. Thanks so much for being here. I'm Carrie. This is Keep It Simple DIY, and I'm so happy you're here. Well, we've got 32. Maybe we'll go with that and we'll see how it goes. Let's get the caramel sauce going. So I'm going to get this on a medium-high heat. We're going to keep it on a medium-high heat the whole time. And then we are going to use, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, not quite this much. We're going to use a half of a stick of butter. Just going to do that. Ooh, I was wondering, that smelled like gas. There was no fire. Okay, there we go. Okay, our butter is melted, so we are going to add the rest of the ingredients in. And we're going to try to not let them touch the sides. Oh gosh, there's paper in there. The butter paper. Oops. All right, we're going to try to not let this touch the sides. And then a trick to get your cornstarch to come out is just to spray it first. I'm going to do that over the sink. Okay, and then we need to add our sweetened condensed milk. This is a very high heat. I'm not sure we got all of this out. Okay, so we need to mix and not stop mixing until it comes to a full boil. And then it said once it comes to a full boil, we need to precisely mix it for 7 minutes. All right, let's see how this goes. So, how is this gonna spoon? Don't know how much to spoon over it. Oh gosh. Now we gotta remember, do not, under any circumstances, touch it. because it's very hot. Oh gosh. I feel like we're gonna be able to mold it later if we need to. Okay, I think they went a little heavy-handed. I'm going to put some of these nuts back. And then into the, oh, that's a weird spot for that one. Ooh, look. Neat. I was going to say into the fridge these go, but I wonder if it's at the point where I can like kind of mold it. That one's a little hot still. Okay, we're gonna put it in the fridge. All right, to prepare for the next one, I'm going to get a 1/4 cup of sugar and the cinnamon all ready before we start. And I was looking at the turtles in the fridge after I like found a little piece that had broken off of caramel and it was crunchy. And I have a feeling that we're going to have caramel that was cooked for too long. I think it went to the crack stage. And I followed the recipe to a T. I normally don't do that. I'm thinking I saw something in here. And I followed the recipe to a T. I usually don't do that, but I think what went wrong was this recipe was based on minutes instead of temperature, so I'm a little bummed about that. Okay, that is ready for us, and we have our chocolate chips ready. Whoa, oops. And these are white chocolate chips. All right. Let's get the butter in the pan melting. It's frozen because that's all I got. So here we go. Okay, that is just about melted. I'm going to add a tablespoon of corn syrup, and I am just going to do it like that. And then we also need a cup of sugar. And a pinch of salt, although I don't know where my measuring thing went. So we need to stir this until it's all mixed together. And I think I'm gonna add the vanilla. I might be adding this too soon, but we're gonna add it. Okay, I'm gonna say we're probably all mixed in, and it should be fine now to just let this sit and then watch it for 290 degrees. Ooh, it looks like that side is there. Yeah, we went a little too high here too. All right, let's get this poured over here. Usually like a brittle type of thing. I'm used to having something come in it. Oh wow, this did not really mix together. I don't think this is going to work out either. We might just have a failed candy day. This is not, nope, that's weird. This is separating. And that's a pool of butter. You guys, this is not it. I don't think this is going to turn into what it's supposed to be. I don't think there's any way. The butter didn't mix in. Oh goodness. You know, this is kind of looking like caramel. But it's probably past the caramel stage. This is more looking like caramel than the caramel that I made. I have made caramel before. I think where we went wrong is we used the time. I followed the recipe. I should have just used a thermometer. Well, so much butter. This isn't gonna be okay. Well, let me think about what we're doing next. Let me show you what I've been doing. So I've been like removing any nuts that I can to save them because this is just past the stage that I can do anything with it. See this? It's so dang hard. Okay. This would be good for hard candy, but I didn't really make it the right thickness for that. Some nuts there. So let me think through what I want to do next, because at this point we have 2 candies that we made and 2 failures. So let's see. But I think the groceries just got delivered, so I'm gonna go get those first. All right, you guys. All right, so I have never had this happen before. I have never failed at 2 things at once when I only wanted to make 2 things. So that was interesting. Now this one, the toffee, looking at it, the recipe did look really weird. It had a cup of butter and a cup of sugar and only a tablespoon of corn syrup. And usually when I'm making a toffee, I do a whole lot more corn syrup, a lot of sugar, and then I only do like a tablespoon of butter. So I wonder if they switched like the numbers for the butter and for the corn syrup, because that would make more sense to me. That's how I typically make it. So I knew that, but I followed the recipe. Here's where we went wrong, right? We followed the recipe. Do I ever do that? No, but today I did, and it failed me. And then over here, this recipe said cook it for 7 minutes exactly, and I should have known better. This is rock solid, but what I did do is get the nuts out, so I at least saved probably about half of the nuts, so they're not gonna go to waste, because nuts are expensive, you know? I thought about trying this again as I was making this one, but as soon as this one failed, I was like, you know what? We're just gonna call it. We're gonna call it. It is not the day to make candy, and that's okay. So I think the next time I'm going to make candy is probably going to be Valentine's Day, and we won't have any fails. This was the first fail. I mean, all the other candies I've made this year actually turned out very well. So if you're interested in watching candies that actually turn into candy, I will link both of those videos here. They were both delicious. The top one is going to be one that's a lot simpler to do. It's like the easiest one. And the bottom one was a little bit more complicated, but we did it. So anyways, thanks so much for being here. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you're new here and you haven't yet, please subscribe. I'd love to see you. And I will see you next time. Bye-bye.